Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make an embroidered bookmark. I'm going to be using a stick and stitch bookmark design from my Etsy shop. I also have these as digital downloads if you want to print yourself on stick and stitch paper. I have a tutorial on my YouTube. I can link that in the description of this video. This Books and Coffee bookmark design is my best seller, so we're going to stitch that today. Next, you're going to need some embroidery thread. I like to use DMC embroidery thread. You can find it at most craft stores. If you want to replicate my project exactly, I'm showing you all the numbers here so you can go and buy them yourself. You're also going to need an embroidery needle. I like to use this variety pack from DMC, and I'm going to use size 5. Most needles from this pack will work with this kind of embroidery project, but I recommend playing around and seeing which one you like threading and sewing with. Next, you're going to need a felt. I like to use a premium felt from Joann Fabric. You can buy this at other craft stores as well. A premium fabric is going to be a little thicker and not see-through. You're also going to need a pair of scissors. Alright, to get started, first we're going to peel off our pattern from the backing and we're going to place it on the felt. I like to place my bookmark pattern on the edge of the felt. That way it just makes it easier when cutting. So we're going to grab our scissors and we're going to cut on the black line. Try to cut as straight as you can, that way the bookmark has straight edges. However, if you mess up, it's okay, you can trim it afterwards. Once you've cut out the design, next we're going to cut a second piece of felt, and this will be the back of the bookmark. Try to cut the lines as evenly as possible and make it the same size as the first piece, and you can trim it afterwards if you need to as well. Once you have the back of the bookmark, you can go ahead and set it aside. We'll bring it back later when we assemble the bookmark. Now we're going to prepare our thread. You're going to start by taking one end of the thread and you're going to pull it from the skein. I like to pull about an arm's length, and then you're going to cut it and we're going to separate it into 3 strands. So you're then going to use your finger and you're going to slide it down the middle of the thread so that it separates the strands completely. Once we have separated out 3 strands of thread, you're going to pinch the thread in between your fingers and you're going to thread it through your needle. You're going to pull the thread through, but not completely. You're going to want a tail hanging down, and then on the longer end, we're going to tie a knot. To tie a knot, I like to wrap it around my finger and then pull it tight so that the knot is at the very end of the thread. To start the bookmark, we're going to start stitching the spine of each book. Each book is going to be stitched first in back stitch, and then the top and bottom of the book, we will go back through and whip the back stitch. And then the spine will be straight stitch. So we're going to bring our needle up and back down about 1/3 of an inch. Then you're going to go skip ahead another 1/3 of an inch, and you're going to bring it back down the same point that your last stitch ended. And then you're going to pull tight. You're going to continue doing this, bringing your needle 1/3 of an inch forward every time and bringing your needle back down to where you ended the last stitch. When you get to the end of the first side, you're going to bring your needle up and we're going to whip the back stitch. So you're going to bring your needle through one side and you're going to go underneath the last back stitch. Then you're going to skip ahead to the next back stitch. You're going to come from the same side every time and you're going to bring your needle through each back stitch. This creates a whipped back stitch and gives a seamless look to each side of the book. Then you're going to bring your needle back down after you're done whipping the back stitch. Then we're going to bring our needle up on the other side of the book and we're going to lay our back stitches. Then we're going to bring our needle up at the end of this row of back stitches and we're going to make a stitch for the spine using straight stitch. You're just going to bring your needle up and then bring it back down on the other side of the book. And then I like to repeat this 2 times. So we're going to do it one more time, lay another straight stitch. And then when we come back, we're going to then whip the last side. Remember to bring your needle through each back stitch from the same side. When you're done, bring your needle to the back of the felt to end the stitch. It's time to change colors, so I'm going to show you how to tie a knot on the back of your project. So I like to snake my needle through a previous stitch. Instead of pulling it tight, I take my needle through the loop and I pull it tight, making a knot, and then I will put it back through and I will cut it. Now we're going to switch out our yarn and pick a different color for the next book. Remember to separate out 3 strands, rethread your needle and tie a knot, and we're going to begin again. We're going to do the exact same process for this spine. We're going to start with back stitch, then we're going to go back through and whip our back stitch. If a knot forms in your thread when you're pulling it, gently pull it up, pull on one side until the knot comes out. For the spine of the book, we're going to do 2 straight stitches. You're going to continue this process for the other 2 books. You're going to do back stitches every time, and then you're going to whip your back stitches, and you're going to do 2 straight stitches for the spine of each book. When you finish your last book, you're going to bring your thread to the back and we're going to tie it off, and then we're going to start on the cup. For the coffee cup, we're going to use split stitch. Split stitch starts similar to back stitch. We're going to make 1 small stitch, skip ahead 1/3 of an inch, but instead of taking it to the end of where our stitch ended, we're going to take it through our stitch in the middle and split our previous stitch. Pull your thread tight all the way to the back. And then we're going to skip ahead again 1/3 of an inch, and we're going to do the same thing, splitting our previous stitch. And that's split stitch. You're going to continue this along the outline of the whole cup. Continue your split stitch to the handle of the cup, and you're going to move the stitches along the curve of the handle. Now we're going to skip to the bottom of the cup, and we're going to do split stitches all the way to the top of the cup, and then we're going to fill in the cup with long and short stitch. Now that we're done with our outline, we're going to move our needle to the middle of the cup, and we're going to start making long and short stitches to fill the cup. So what that means is we're going to make a series of stitches. They're all straight stitches, but they're going to vary in length, thus making it long and short stitches. And this just gives a nice smooth texture to fill in that whole area. Now we're going to move to the books, and we're going to stitch the pages. I like to snake my needle through the back of my stitches on the back of the bookmark when I'm moving to a new space, and then I'm going to start my long and short stitches for the books, and we're going to do them horizontally for the books instead of vertical. Just like we did for the coffee cup, we're going to make our stitches vary in length to fill in the pages of each book. When you're done, you're going to tie off that color, and we're going to get a different color for the steam and the sparkles. For the steam, we're going to outline it in back stitch. For the lines inside of the steam, you're going to make small straight stitches. After that, we're going to move on to the sparkles, and once again, I like to just take my thread through the back of my stitches when I'm going to a different part of the bookmark, and then I'm going to do straight stitches for each line of the sparkle. Each time you're going to bring your needle up at one point, and then you're going to bring it back down, forming a straight stitch. I love using felt for bookmarks because if you don't have any thread to bring your needle through when you're changing directions, you can take it actually through the felt. Just make sure you don't go deep enough so that you can see it on the front. Now you're going to continue stitching your sparkles, and when I come back, I'm going to teach you how to wash stabilizer. Washing stabilizer is a very important step because you have beautiful stitches and you want to make sure that no ink bleeds into your stitches, and you want to make sure that all the stabilizer is washed off. You're going to want to rinse your bookmark and then apply mild dish soap, scrubbing it into the stitches and under your stitches, making sure that everything has washed off. I like to do this for about 3 to 5 minutes. The more thorough you are about making sure that everything is washed off, the better it will look in the end. When you're done washing, you're going to lay it out to dry, and then I'm going to show you how to assemble the bookmark. To get started, we're going to line up the embroidered side of the bookmark and the back of the bookmark, and we are going to trim anything that needs trimmed, and we're going to thread and knot our needle. To start, you're going to bring your needle up in the corner, and you're going to bring it up from the back, but it's only going to go through the embroidered part of the bookmark. Next, we're going to go on the back of the other piece of felt, and we're going to bring it through the same spot. You're going to pull it tight, but leave a little bit of slack because we're going to take our needle through the loop, and we're going to pull tight. We're going to insert our needle about 1/2 of an inch to the right of that stitch, and we're going to pull our needle through the loop to the right of our previous stitch, and you're going to see that it's going to catch. We're going to repeat this process each time, move the same distance about 1/2 an inch, and you're going to pull your needle to the right through the loop so that it catches. You're going to repeat this process every time. Make sure to go the same distance every time, that way it looks uniform. This is called blanket stitch. When you get to the corner of the bookmark, we're going to do a blanket stitch, and then we are actually going to insert our needle into the same point for the corner. You're going to pull your stitch for the corner slowly so that you can position it right on the corner of the bookmark. You are then going to insert your needle back down into the same point one more time and pull it tight. You are then going to continue normal blanket stitches on the other side of the bookmark. When we end our blanket stitch, we are going to take our needle through the top of our last stitch. We're going to pull it tight, and we're going to take our needle through to the middle of the bookmark. And then from there, we're going to tie a knot inside the bookmark so that the knot is not visible. I like to tie about 2 to 3 knots just to make sure that everything's secure. And that's it, you've made a bookmark. I love doing embroidered bookmarks. It's such a fun craft. I look forward to seeing all of yours.